A year ago, one day after President Trump's inauguration, they marched by the tens of thousands in cities across the U.S. and around the world. The Women's March in Tucson numbered 15,000. 1 year later, organizers marked the anniversary with a vigil and plans for another march in 2019. Leaders behind the movement, Shelley Weiss and Pamela Backel, told me how their message changed the past year and where their activism will go next.
Judging by the numbers that happened last year when we had the full-blown march, we expected 5,000 people and we had 15,000 people that showed up for the march, so it's rather large.
Pam, why do you suppose we've had people just turn out in droves for this?
Well, I think it was the day after the inauguration of President Trump, and I think everybody there was disappointed in his election and wanted to make a statement about what they did support, which was diversity and helping people that are having a hard time and not excluding people.
What specifically would you say the goal has become for the group, for the organization?
The original vision and guiding principles was to make sure that everyone of every race, color, ethnicity, religion, that we were all treated equally. But since then, I've looked at what the Women's March has become, and they really have created a vision that's much more expanded on that. And it's ending violence and war. It's making sure that there are workers' rights, civil rights, disability rights, immigrant rights, and environmental justice. So in the beginning, it was kind of, I think, a reactionary response, but now it's really developed into a worldwide movement of women declaring the end of these kind of things.
Pam, it began with the election of President Trump, but it's deviated to another direction, or is it still part of that foundation?
He's going to go at some point, and women are going to continue on. And there's a lot of these problems have been highlighted because of his presidency and kind of exacerbated, but he will be gone and we will continue on.
Trump is just one person. He is just one president, and his term will come to an end. But he's not the only person across this globe. He's not the only leader that has created this problem. And so we want that to come to an end. And there's a global change.
These are issues, though, that women and men both face. So where is that balance in? It's not just a women's movement, it also includes everyone.
At the march, when there were 15,000 people, there was a lot of men there. And there are men who have a consciousness and an awareness because of maybe their wives and their daughters, and they want these things to stop too.
Shelley, how do you measure success? How will you know that you've achieved something that's unique and truly groundbreaking?
I think the measure of success will be when we see the lessening of war, when we see people stand up and say we shouldn't rape the land for resources. When those types of things become alleviated, as they become alleviated, that's really the success.